New overlay is in here, kind of. I didn't put in any of the artsy fartsy stuff yet, but I'll get around to that. But the new chat is going to be off to the side here. I will have Restream open. I'm able to still see questions from. I'm able to still see anyway questions from other platforms, but for you guys that won't be there. I will still see you guys, however. Today's looking like a bit of a nutty day, guys. We should see the stimulus package at least floored today. So we'll wait and see what that kind of produces into the end of the day. Gotta select the browser here. All right. So let's see here. I'll go here. I'll go here. Good morning. Hello, everybody. Yeah, markets are not liking this news of this new strain, but ultimately, I think it's a buy the dip. New cam is here. Yes, new cam is here. I'm gonna try to just adjust this throughout the day here. It's got a light on it, and I'm just trying to understand how much of that I need or don't need. All right, cool. Looks like it's doing some auto adjusting of its own there, so okay. Good morning, everybody. It's gonna be a fun day. Did manage to figure out a way to get that ticker up there, so you guys will see the stocks that I'm looking at on the day. Inside that ticker, I am able to adjust that pretty much on the fly. So if we wanted to add something else in there to watch today, we can definitely do that. We probably want Tesla in there today, given the insanity that that's about to become. So I'll throw that in there as well. But yeah, that list should be populated. We should have a ticker all day. I don't know that that's real-time data. It may be slightly delayed. I think there's a 10-minute delay, so it's not real-time data, but at least it's there for people to see. Let's get marbles open here while I go grab a cup of coffee. Marbles. Good morning, good. Okay, let's go over here, see how we're doing in here. SHG is up to 120 pre-market, so that's good. That'll be green at the gate. Ipoc is up to almost 1250, which is fantastic. Yeah, 1250. Man, this thing is run. Should be up close to $2,000 on that. Yeah, new cam is here, guys. The new cam is here. Just trying to adjust it a little bit, get the right sizing and stuff, but it has finally arrived. Hopefully it's clean and crisp and clear. Let's get marbles open here. New layout is there too, guys. I will add some artwork onto this, at least, you know, borders and stuff, so people can see what's going on. But hopefully the proportion on websites and the charts is a little bit smoother for you guys, and you're able to see that. For today, let's do close marble brawl. Marbles. Okay. All right, let's join this. Camera sync is off on voice. Not sure why that might be. Unless it's... Yeah, I'm not sure. How to sync audio with new camera. Yeah, I'm gonna grab coffee, guys. Get in, get in, get in. Winner will get to pick the ticker for this morning. I'll be right back. We're gonna be watching Ipoc today, BTWN for sure. Take a look at fuel cell. Looks like there's gonna be a buy the dip in the travel sector, casinos, retail, that kind of stuff. Waiters should do well today. DGLY should do well today, but we'll wait and see. Okay, so coffee. I'll be right back, and then we can get going. All right, let's do this. Lots of folks in here today, guys. We will wait and see how this goes. Huge shout out to all you folks that are subbing, uh, gifting, following, all you folks. Much appreciated. There's another one. Stimulus hasn't gone through though. Stimulus might still win on the headline because the stimulus will be floored today on the House, and I think it'll go through. So we'll see. I would. We have to wait for it to be a floored bill for me to be able to break it down. So I'm hoping to do that later today. Once we get an official breakdown or bill listed on that, but GXO with that sub. Yeah, ACRX. We're getting closer and closer to the end of Q4 here, which is when we were supposed to see. Oh, you're dead. Which is when we were supposed to see. Um, oh man, bye Marcus. Um, when we're supposed to see this purchase from the army. My weekend was pretty good, guys. Oh yeah, I added alerts, guys. You should see alerts. I'm glad they popped if they popped. That means I did it right. Um, Hopefully they're not obnoxious. Am I dead? You may have died. Yes. No, you're back there. I see you. You're back there. You're way back there with the rest of the pack. This is a race to the finish here. GXO sneaks it out. It pays to get that shiny fancy marble that looks like a little train. Apparently, this is how you win the game, guys. You buy fancy marbles. GXO takes the win on the day, ladies and gentlemen. Pay to play, can confirm, was rigged. Um, I'm not a huge IPA fan. I'm a stout guy. Um, all right, ACRX I don't have on this watch sheet, so I should have that up there. ACRX. We add that into the strolling ticker there. What now? What now? What now? GXO. Which ticker you want it? ACRX for the ticker. So we'll watch that. Okay. Open up the options portfolio here. Yeah, I love a good dark stout. I always get a little wary when people start using maple. Oftentimes, for me anyway, they put too much maple in, and then it just becomes a sweet beer. I like my stouts to have a little bit of body to them. I'm not looking to take the edge off of a stout. I really like it. Um, it's like whiskey when people are like, "Oh, have you tried this flavored whiskey?" It's like, no, like I like whiskey the way it is. Yeah, I've tried maple whiskey. I'm just not a fan. Not a huge fan. Now what, Maple? Or what, now what, Cupcake? Now we watch the market open in 10 minutes, and we just kind of shoot the shit until that happens. Um, there's not a ton for us to dive into pre-market here other than looking at the watch. I want to make sure that IBKR loads up properly today. Had a bit of a problem with it the last time around, so um, let's see how this goes here. Okay, yeah, the dimensions are still off on it. There. Okay. Yeah, so these leaps are going to take a hit today for sure. We should see a recovery tomorrow, but that's the important part of these lock in and leave it leaps. I don't think Tesla dies today. I'm only on IB for options. I've always been on IB for option. My thoughts on fuel sellers that this thing is going to run. Green energy tied to California. There's no news on BTWN, but I did do some reading on it over the weekend, and the SPAC definitely looks like the direction that they want to go if they're gonna come to the U.S. markets. There are some interesting quirks and nuances to the Indonesia exchange that if they were to try to dual list IPO would kind of make it impossible for them to do. It's almost like they have to do a SPAC to get into the U.S. markets. So Corsair thoughts? I think Corsair is solid through Q4 into Q1. Let's go over to the holdings here and see 1250 pre-market on this, 13 for BTWN, so it's just kind of floating. Again, I got such a great entry on BTWN that I like at a 1218 entry for it to come down a little bit is fine. It's not really going to affect me. For it to be at $13 here is fantastic. I'm still up on it pretty well. Thoughts on net? Mm-hmm. Cloudflare. Man, this came back. Um, Today it should do well. Anything that's a stay-at-home stock might do well. What am I aiming for? Anywhere 20 plus is a win in my book. Could go higher though. Yeah, it's an Ontario lockdown that we've got right now. Yeah, so Cloudflare I would be bullish on today, guys. Unity Software. Yeah, this is going to do well through Q4 as far as gaming goes. New iPhones, I think there's going to be a lot of hype around this. I think it's got room to go. 160, 170 wouldn't be bad through Q1, but I don't know that I'm going to jump off at 20 on Ipoc, guys. I'm going to be around for sure. Superiority, thanks for the follow, man. Much appreciated. ACRX is up a little bit this morning pre-market, not a ton, but a little bit. 128, 129, so it's not terrible. Ipoc is the big winner for me right now, where I've got $11 entry, 1098 entry, and it's 1248 right now, 1247, and that's before them announcing they've got the vote on the 6th and 7th of January, so over the next 2 weeks this will just buy up. But yeah, if I can take 20 on it, I'll near them doubled. It'll be like a 12 grand play. So pretty pumped about that. Yeah, patience is definitely one of those character traits that you might want to have. There's a news article on projected sales for ACRX. Yeah, I'd love to read it. If it's current, I'd love to read it. Big sheet. This is from today. Okay, so they're projecting 5.6 million in sales this quarter for ACRX. Okay, so they are projecting. That's in sales, right? Not revenue. Yeah. Okay. What did you say about PTSH? I didn't take a look at PTSH. What is PTSH? Pink sheet. Air freight, sea freight, road haulage. Mm, PSTH. Pershing. Bill Ackman's spec, right? Sorry, what? Yeah, yeah. I know I blocked him. Yeah, I hope you guys like the layout. I'm gonna add some new artwork. Hopefully, you guys can read things better. They're not out of proportion and feeling squished or whatever. And it took me a little while to figure out how to get that ticker up there, but I did manage to do it. So, Expedia, XP is Expedia, right? If you want to hold this long, fine. But in my opinion, this has and should continue to feel some pain. Um, my Internet Explorer out here is tech savvy. Palantir running a little pre-market. Do we have cash settlement requirements in Canada for your brokerages? I'm on a margin account in my equity. I have been margin called twice this year already, which has never been a problem because I'm always able to just liquidate a position that's green and clear the margin. But I have received margin calls this year. The bank said to count on that, and they're not a huge fan of long hold strategy. They love a day trader because they see the constant movement of money. But in regards to long holds and equity on margin, they're not a huge fan. So, how can I stream on crap internet here? I've got 300 megs down. Um, 300 down, 1015 up. What percentage of my portfolio do I have in ACRX? About 30%. Actually, it's less than that because I do have like 6 grand. Yeah, it's still about 30%. Glad you like it. Glad you like it, guys. I did manage to also set up sub alerts and follower alerts, so we will have those pop up. It seems to have been working well enough. But yeah, it was time for a change. It was time to do some stuff. I will add some layout features, a backing to that camera and to that ticker there. But right now, market is getting ready to open, so let's head over there and watch what it does here at the gate. Market is super red today. That doesn't typically affect my portfolio, but yeah, Alexandria has that speed. Yeah, 30. 30 cobbler. 30% of my portfolio is in there. My biggest gain from one trade this year, I think, is OCGN. I think to date, anyway. You guys can always check out what's going on with the portfolio over on Tip Ranks. It should have a bunch of data on it. Oh, that's true. I hadn't considered that. Um, hmm. What do you mean these people? Okay, hopefully that's better. Now you can see the ticker name. Where did you put it? Oh, you messaged. It's DM. Does it work with Canadian brokerages? Okay, so they only have one streamer that is currently on here. Yeah, I don't particularly um I'm not seeing a lot of traction. I don't know why I would put the work in to get on that. If there's only a single streamer on there, that doesn't mean that there's a lot of community. It's more so that you're bringing your community to them. I don't know that I necessarily want to do that. Are you getting any ticker data for UPS this morning? I can definitely take a look. You can combine multiple monitors in OPS, but Twitch will not do this since mobile is so big and two screens on mobile makes no sense. Um, yeah, I can put I could add all three of my monitors up here. It's just it doesn't really make sense to do that, I don't think. Um, yeah, I would say with Twitch and YouTube, I think that that's sufficient for me, to be honest. Interesting thing here, ACRX is not populating on TD. 2 days at the minute. Oh, there it is. Okay, so it's down a little bit pre-market. Ipoc, I'm up on the day. BTWN, I'm still profitable, so those are good. IPIX is up a little bit. It's up to 22 here. If I can get IPIX profitable, I will probably exit it. Been waiting around too long for that thing to move. SHG is profitable again today, so that's good. Oh yeah, yeah, I get what you mean. AMD is a nice big green. I don't know why you would pull out of FedEx. In my opinion, FedEx is just gonna be gangbusters through Q4. I see AMD down on the day. Accelera down. Planet Fitness is down. Kodak is down. A lot of down today. Space is up. Interesting. iPix is got a big green candle. I wonder why. Yeah, I wonder what's going on with iPix here. Nothing there. Verlacidin. Service unavailable. Okay, let's see. Maybe, but not in the short term, I don't think. 2 hours ago, FDA grants IND approval for phase 2 clinical trial innovation of Berlastin treating COVID. So there's positive news today for IPIX. I don't know how much it's going to run on that, but it's up 26% on the day. Mara is green. That's true. It's 950 right now. Fuel cells green. MBRX is green. SHG is green. BTWN. Actually, all of my holdings except for ACRX are green. And ACRX is even on the day. It's plus or minus zero. So I'm okay with that. All my holdings seem to be doing fairly well today. So stimulus bill, guys, is the big news that I am waiting for. I would like to get an actual reading of this bill. It still hasn't shown up, so yeah, no, that's not it. That's the CARES Act. So Pelosi's making a point of saying when Joe Biden enters the White House in 31 days, more help will be on the way. So she's trying to already position it to this is a Biden thing. Biden did this. Um, that's not how that works, but okay. Um, Remember, Obama was responsible for the first year of Trump's um, administration, and that's generally true of pretty much every administration. Is that their first year in office is the result of the fourth year of the previous president. So I very much doubt that the press will do that. Anything positive that happens will be Biden's. Anything negative will be on Trump. I expect that to probably continue through next year. Um, okay, so we got to find the time of day on these votes. So let's go to the U.S. House. No, we don't. We don't know anything yet because it hasn't been floored officially. And until it is, it says there's no events scheduled for today. That's clearly not true. Um, it is, yeah. I was able to put that on there this morning. Um, Update it as well. But I mean, it's just trucking away. That entry that I got on it could not have been better for me. I, yeah, I'm up 800 bucks on it in a week. But I honestly, the two of these, BTWN especially, BTWN I think is one of these SPACs that has the potential to maybe not do what Nikola did, but I think it's definitely um, got the potential. You look at Nikola over um, the year here. So here's when Nicola's still a SPAC. This was when it was VTIQ. This is when it becomes Nikola. Uh, right, and that's what I'm getting at. That this SPAC has that hype. It has that Richard Lee, Peter Thiel backing, as well as Tokopedia being a big name in Asia. So it'd be like getting a chunk of Alibaba early. Is what I think people um, are hoping on. And I don't know that it runs up to like 70, 80, but I mean, if it goes to 60, that's a solid win for me. We'll wait and see. The trick is like, don't get out. For me, I'm not going to get out here on this initial pump, which would be, the news that yes, it's going through. It'd be to wait for the vote, and then the day after the vote to get out. Kind of looks like what the play will be. Now, with that being said, do I think BTWN could go up to 60 and 50? Yes, in my opinion, it could. Does that mean that it will? Probably not. It could, but probably not. My biggest, if it goes to that, fantastic. Like I'm not going to be crying about it. I'll take the win. Um, but for me, it's more so the that 30-40 dollar range. I think is possible. Um, NFC. What is this? Manulife Financial. Um, I don't like Canadian financials, man. I don't like. I have traded a couple Canadian stocks lately, but I've got to be honest. For the most part, I'm not a fan of the Canadian market. Um, they're USD too. I see them. Yeah, I'm looking at them on the US markets. Um, but it's yeah. I mean that it's on the US market doesn't change the fact that it's tied directly to Canadian financials. So for me, I'm out. I Yeah, I think it's always better for you to get something on their market directly than OTC. So for me, the few stocks that I would get, so SHG, I have it in Canada instead of the SHGFF because I'm confident in that company. Now I know that's a Canadian company, but it is more of an exception to the rule than anything else. Um, BlackBerry is another one that I would get in Canada. But again, that would be super long term hold, and I like what BlackBerry is going to do over the next 10 years. As far as like mutual life, financial, all these old insurance firms, financial firms, I think upstarts like Rocket, Lemonade, these guys that are breaking into the space are putting these older folks at serious jeopardy. Um, so yeah, in my opinion, in my opinion, I just first of all I don't really like financials as a whole. I have taken Wells Fargo in the past and made some money. Did you invest in Verb that we looked at last week? It's doing quite well since then. We did get into it briefly and then got out of it quickly after talking to Hitch. Um, yeah, he did. He said that their affiliation with Salesforce and Microsoft is to be expected. It's not a big deal. Pretty much everybody in that sector has that. So for me, it's like okay, well, that if that's the case, I'm just not interested then. Yeah, I mean, Ipoc just keeps going. Yeah, so for me, it's like okay, I don't know that I'm gonna go near that. Yeah, I mean, I could really do some ACRX news to be honest. Um, no, no, he did not. Mnuchin's trending. Americans will get stimulus check as soon as next week, he says. This should bring the market up. Checks are coming. Checks are coming. Is Mara in the bar with the tickers? Do I have Mara there? I do not. I can add it. Yeah, it was at 9 pre-market. You should see it popping up in that bar now. Maybe I'll speed this up a little bit. Yeah, I think $9 would be okay. Yeah, I do. I think $9 would be okay for Mara. Okay, all of the leaps are down today, except for DGLY. Um, yeah, all of these are taking a hit. Now, two of these are still profitable. Six Flags and Cinemark are still profitable. But CCL's down, Gap is down, Coke is down. Again, guys, this is the nice part of having this for a year. Is like, okay, it's down on the day. Uh, Earnings happened to BlackBerry on Friday. Yeah, but that's what people said when Amazon and BlackBerry came out too. That's nothing new. That or Amazon and Tesla came out. There's always naysayers. So look at the things that people are saying. No, it's too good to be true. Shopify would be a good example, I think, of one where over the next 10 years it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, right? Yeah, BlackBerry took the tickle on Friday due to its earnings, which was expected. Um, that's a great reentry, actually. It's up a little bit today, but Mara below 10 again. Ipoc still up. BTWN. What I like about BTWN is that it's just holding this line, this 13 line, really well. Why is Hill falling so much today? Who knows? If it's a buy the dip though, I might take a look at it. Yeah, it's down 7 cents. I do still have Hill. I've got Hill 250 calls for February. Hill was a play through the inauguration though. That's through, like, we've got a few weeks left. Did I re-enter Marin? No, I did not. What's proprietary about Shopify? Nothing. What's proprietary about Amazon? Nothing. Somebody else could easily, well, not easily, but you could start up your own Amazon. There's nothing to stop you from doing the same thing that Amazon has done. The issue is when you get that damn big and you're that ingrained, it's really difficult to topple a giant, right? With Shopify, most e-commerce companies that I know have some kind of a usage of Shopify at this point. And I don't see a major disruptor coming into the play unless Shopify stops innovating. And the team at Shopify is really good. Shopify's coding, not like huge warehouses. Yeah, but there's a lot of SaaS companies that are super successful. Like, what's the stop? Why? What's proprietary about Zoom? Nothing. But is something really going to knock Zoom off the top? It would take an awful lot to knock Zoom off the top, right? Um, yeah, it's a reality though. It's a real thing that you have to take into account. I don't see. People are creatures of habit in a big way, in many respects, and so it's an interesting beast where people just won't change. They don't want to change. So if it's number one, it stays number one. Like it. Used financial accounting knowledge and computer programming skills to trade, which failed me because nothing made sense. Yeah, and I mean that's interesting because I traded the year on market psychology and on what I know of how people react to things, and it was quite profitable. Um, and so there's a lot of people that have said that the market doesn't make sense as far as technicals or as far as financials go or any of that. But for me, trading psychology, mass psychology, macro psychology, it's been extremely profitable. It makes sense. People do exactly what you expect a large crowd of people to do. They flock to hope. I think ACRX at 125 is a great price. I think ACRX at a buck 80 is a great price. I think ACRX at $3 is a great price because I see it at 10. Um, yeah, okay, Gap is up a little bit now. It's green on the day. Future options are not reflecting that, but more things are joining this green list here, little by little. If we could just get a time today on when the House is going to vote, it looks like they're adjourned until 9 a.m. on December 21st, so the floor should be open right now. Watch live house floor proceedings. Okay, 9 a.m. Pledge of Allegiance, speaker's approval. House received a message. What do you think of LPCN? We have looked at that long term. When do I see ACRX getting up to those prices? I would say I had hoped for Q4 on news, but if it doesn't come Q4 on news, it could be Q3 of next year. But I'm okay with waiting that long. The house is on recess at the moment as of 9:35. When they will come back is unclear. There's no floor schedule available for today. There are some resolutions here that have been passed. This is the House Appropriations Act. When does Q4 end? End of December. Thoughts on Volkswagen? Volkswagen really desperately needs to break into EV. It'd be the best way for them to shake off that negative kind of image that they've got in the eco sector. Yeah, the Senate passed these. So what are these? DART Act of 2019. This bill allows the Federal Communications Commission to conduct a one-year pilot program enabling telephone companies to block automated calls they believe to be unlawful. Okay, so that's a nothing. Rocky Mountain National Park Ownership Correction Act. This is a nothing. What else? To amend the Health Information Technology Act for Economic and Clinical Health Act. Require the Secretary of Health and Human Services to consider certain recognized security practices for covered entities and business associates. Okay, so none of these bills have anything to really do with the current bill. It doesn't look like there's anything on the schedule. I don't know who Monroe is. These guys, is this what you're talking about? Monroe and Associates? Yeah. I as much as possible, I think I'm done. It went to the time. Um, yeah, CRISPR's the big one. That's a big player in that field. But there's you can easily search and Google that with 12 top genetic engineering stocks. CRISPR, Editas, Intelia, Beam, Bluebird Bio, Regeneron. There's a list there. So CRSP, EDIT, NTLA, Beam, Blue, Gen. Um, yeah, so my best trade for the year, guys, was OCGN with 193% gain on it. I think that I see this kind of gain, if not a bigger gain, off of these SPACs, to be honest. Um, what's interesting is my public portfolio doesn't seem to have the updated BTWN position in it, even though it's on. It doesn't show that. Interesting. No problemo. If you guys want, I'm gonna be around probably for another half hour here. This is the big thing that I'm watching today is the floor proceedings. The House being in recess right now. I think that they need to get down to this ASAP. Um, It'll be very, very interesting to see how quickly they're able to get this bill through. As soon as it's floored, I am going to break it down though and read through it. They like to tuck away a lot of hidden secrets in these things, and it can be a huge opportunity if you take the time to read through it to find something that people don't know. Am I in GHIV? I am not. Is this another SPAC? Yeah. Yeah, you brought this up before, this GHIV thing. I'm not. I don't like the mortgage sector. Mortgage, financial, REITs, financials, real estate. I just not my bag. Not right now. Not hot to trot on that sector. People are saying holy crap, Luckin Coffee is up 122% today. Unreal. $3.74 on Wednesday when they announced that they were paying that penalty to the SEC, and since then they're back up to $10. Unreal. I don't know that they'll be able to get off the OTC though. I think there's a penalty for a period of time where they won't be able to make it back onto the OTC, but we'll see. Or off of the OTC, I should say. Um, I just don't get it. That's what Jim Cramer talking about today. Oh, I didn't realize Jim Cramer was all of a sudden a sports betting enthusiast. That's interesting. This is kind of cool. Robert Rodriguez is going to do the Book of Boba Fett. Ooh, I like that. No, no, it's a show. It's going to be a TV series. Yeah, guys, that's sarcasm by Reese of Greece. He's being sarcastic. Don't, don't. It's dog shit. And on that note, I'm going to put the disclaimer in here. Nobody in chat, Discord, or myself is a financial advisor in any way. Anything that we put in here is a meme. All right, so don't sweat it. That's just kind of what's it going to be. Um, yeah, this is not the end of the world, ladies and gentlemen. We will survive. I'm a huge fan of it. I think a TV series is a much better place for a Star Wars story. It gives them a lot more time to just evolve through the story. If you take a look at the last three Star Wars movies, that crap was painful because they didn't actually develop the story, and so you just had to suffer through laziness essentially. Um, do 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 do. Yeah, guys, it honestly is looking more and more like a buy the dip for me today. Um, I think this stimulus news is just gonna change everything. ACRX is sitting at buck 22. I've leveraged as much as I can into it. Um, with all the news about the stimulus, I didn't check to see He's got until December 23rd to sign it. So he is still touting that he wants to beat us. What's so good about ACRX? It's an FDA-approved drug during an opioid shortage that's backed by some of the largest sales teams, one of the largest medical sales firms. They control their own production line, and it looks like hospitals save millions and millions of dollars to switch over to them as an opioid provider. I think that they're going to have a really strong Q4. I think that they're going to have a even stronger Q1 through 4 next year. Um, but the military order is the big news that I'm currently waiting on. Um, so he's still touting that he's going to cancel this defense bill, which is a bit of a pain in the butt for me. There is a lot of talk about AMC going bankrupt, though. That's great news for me. BTWN is back to that $13 mark. Ipoc is almost up to the $13 mark, so 12.70. Um, Ipoc is showing a really solid movement. I'm really happy with this. Yeah, I got in here, and this is what it's doing. BTWN, I'm up 750 on its green. How's SHG doing today? SHG is down a little bit, but that's okay. I see the $1.70 over the next 6 to 8 months, so I'm okay with that. But IPOC is doing quite well. Doesn't seem like a lot with that 5% gain, but given that IPOC is just running on height, it's not bad. Let's see what StockTwits has to say about this. Okay, a lot of bullish sentiment on StockTwits there. Let's check the scanners and see if either of these are popping up. I do see some warrants for some stuff out here, but I don't see. Not seeing IPOC on here anywhere. Tattooed chef warrants are up. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Big losers on the day. Hmm. What is Big Rock? BRPA. They already have an FDA approved opioid. Because of COVID, most of the major opioids are in a severe shortage at the moment, and so they're looking for alternative. They're actually using catatonics in some cases where they should be using painkillers, because they're so low on opioids. ACRX is paired with the National Rural Health Organization, so smaller stuff. And they have their own internal sales team, Zimmer Biomed, which is a huge medical sales team, and La Jolla Pharmaceuticals is also selling their drug for them. So they have three sales teams actively selling the drug now. Um, on top of that, you've got that pairing with National Rural Health Organization. They've had a bunch of data coming out showing that in a perioperative surgery environment, it saves hospitals millions and millions of dollars a year to switch over to them. They actually end up using less opioids overall. There's quicker turnaround on beds, all the data that you would want to see. On top of that, they have a new production line coming into effect that's going to reduce the cost of production on Dasuvia for them by 60%. So there's a lot of really great stuff there. That doesn't even include the fact that the Milestone C and joint formulary for the Department of Defense have come in on it. So the Army will be including the Dasuvia in field packs. I will also be. They ran an RFP earlier this year saying that ACRX is what they're looking to use exclusively in the Army for opioid treatment. And also because of the joint formulary, the Navy Air Force can also use Dasuvia in their kits should they so desire. So we're waiting on news as to that. But the National Defense Authorization Act is what's slowing that news down from coming. So as soon as Trump can get his pen onto paper with that, the better off that will be for everybody involved. Yeah, this is really interesting because if I go to the public portfolio right now, BTWN doesn't show up, but in my holdings, BTWN is there. So it's really, really interesting. Ipoc just dropped, hit 1280, and then it fell. So there's a big seller there. Bitcoin 23,000 and holding. Swiss has banned the UK and South Africa as it suspects that the new virus is rapidly spreading in those places. So global lockdowns, international travel lockdowns, those look like those are going to continue. Uh, Australia detects the new UK strain. Vatican has approved the vaccines, which may not seem like a huge deal, but for many, there's a fairly huge deal around that. The rest of the world is scared of importing anything. What do you think about plug? Green energy. I don't dislike it. I don't think it's that bad. Um, FireEye pulls back. Not seeing anything crazy here, guys. The U.S. House doesn't seem to have any news as to when they're going to get this done. I thought this would have been priority out the gate. Let's do this, but yeah, they're still not here. They're still in recess. I don't know if they halted for breakfast or what, but all right, guys. I think that's it for me today. It doesn't look like it's going to be what's happening. This week is actually going to be a bit of a holiday week for me, guys. So I may be around Wednesday. I won't be here tomorrow. I'm going to hang out with my folks tomorrow via Zoom and do a Christmas thing with them, and then obviously heading into Christmas, I'm going to take Christmas Eve day, so I won't be here on Thursday, Friday. There's no market, so we won't be here. So I'll probably catch you guys. I might just call the week and say I'll see you guys next Monday, as far as streams go. So I might pop in Wednesday. We'll see, but for the most part, you'll hear me on the call with Stocky in the morning. I might hang out with Martini on her stream for the week, but I think I'm gonna take the week off with the family. That's kind of what it's looking at here. Um, yeah. No, like this is gonna pass today. This stimulus bill is going through today, but nothing else is gonna really happen, I don't think. And then it's just waiting and watching. Yeah, I understand that there's some lag between the camera and the camera and the mic, so I am gonna try to figure that out. But I think it. I mean, yeah, I'm not looking for massive movement on anything, but yeah, I'll try to get this all figured out here, and hopefully, hopefully I can get the camera to sync properly with the mic. I'm not sure why the two are disconnected, but Merry Christmas, guys. I will catch you the 28th. And then there's no guarantee I'm going to be around much. Well, I guess I'll be there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of the 28th through the 30th. But then my anniversary is on New Year's, so I'll be pissing off for a few days again there. Probably won't catch you guys again on a full week until the 4th. But I'll be around. I'll pop in. I'll say hi. Merry Christmas. Take it easy, ladies and gents. I don't know if Martini's streaming right now. Is she? Okay. Then let's go. Send you guys over to hang out with Martini. Um, have an amazing day. Keep your eyes on that stimulus. It is going to go through at some point today, guys. It's not a question of if, but when. Both parties want this to happen, and even Trump wants this to go through. So let's go hit up Martini and see what she's up to.